Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors trade pitch swaps Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins for six-time NBA All-Star. On September 13, The Athletic's Sam Amick reported the Golden State Warriors probably made a couple of calls during the summer to inquire about Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler after he did not receive an extension this offseason. Naturally, the news led to trade speculations. Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey came up with a mock trade for the Warriors to land the six-time NBA All-Star wing. Golden State Warriors receive Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson. Miami Heat receive Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Looney, Gary Payton II, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick and a 2028 first-round pick. Swap Butler, who turns 35 on Friday, September 14, fits the timeline of Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Butler's defensive toughness and skill set are what the Warriors need to get back into title contention after losing Klay Thompson and the decline of Wiggins' play. While Kuminga showed plenty of promise last season, he's still young for the Warriors to rely on as Curry's co-star, especially in pressure-packed situations. Butler is no stranger to that, as he is known for raising his game when the pressure is high. He's not called Playoff Jimmy for nothing. The Warriors almost certainly need more raw talent to get back to the title contenders tier, Bailey wrote. And the potential 1-2 punch from Curry and his unparalleled outside shooting and Butler's inside-the-arc scoring is easy to imagine. A defense led by Butler and Draymond Green could cause plenty of heartache for opponents, too. For the Heat, acquiring Kuminga in this trade scenario to run with Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo still makes them a relevant team in the weaker Eastern Conference, while the Warriors' draft capital set them up for the future. Butler's future in Miami has been clouded with uncertainty ever since Heat president Pat Riley put him on notice by not extending him this summer. "We don't have to do that for a year," Riley said about Butler's extension while speaking to reporters during his exit interview on May 6. "And so, we have not discussed that internally right now, but we have to look at that, making that kind of commitment." Butler has a $52 million player option for the 2025-26 season, which he could decline to sign a new long-term deal. According to Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald, Butler was seeking a new 2-year extension worth $113 million. Riley said he wants to see overall changes from Butler before committing a large extension with the Heat star going into his late 30s. "I don't want to go through the litany of factors right now because they all blow up into different hypotheticals, but yeah, that's a big decision on our part, to commit that kind of resources unless you have somebody who's really going to be there available every single night," Riley said. That's the truth. Warriors owner Joe Lacob has openly said they have been active in pursuing trades to surround Curry with the talent necessary to compete for more titles. While their efforts have yet to lead to a star trade, Lacob does not believe they have been wasting Curry's remaining years in his prime. "I gotta be honest, I don't really think of it that way," Lacob said on the TK Show podcast on July 26. "It matters to me every bit as much as it matters to our fans, for Steph. I don't ever want to be not trying or be bad or be laissez-faire about trying to win. I hope people understand from the time we as a group bought this team 14 years ago, going on 15 now, we've tried to be competitive as much as we can. Since the February trade deadline, they have swung and missed on LeBron James, Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. Will they hit the home run with Butler?" Brandon Podziemski on criticisms Warriors are like washed-up rock band. Warriors second-year guard Brandon Podziemski has reacted to the recent strange comparison his team got from an anonymous NBA coach. In case you missed it, the coach likened Golden State to a rock and roll band is past its prime. "I was thinking about this the other day," the coach told Heavy Sports' Steve Bulpett. "They're like one of those rock and roll bands that's still touring. They've still got their lead singer, and he can still crank it out at a high level. But it's not the same band as before, and they haven't had a hit record in a few years. That championship they won against Boston, that's looking like a Lifetime Achievement Award now. they had the experience and professionalism, and Boston wasn't ready to deal with that yet. Podziemski was at Oracle Park on Friday and was asked about the bizarre comments after he took batting practice before the San Francisco Giants game. "We don't love to hear that, but we love to hear that in the fact that we're going to do something that no one expects us to do," Podziemski said, via NBC Sports. "They don't think that we're the Warriors that we were before, and for us, I think it's just the best feeling when you don't have anything to lose out there, and you just go out and prove people wrong. I think there's a bunch of guys with that mentality that thrive off proving people wrong, and I know Steph Curry is one of those guys. So just to be alongside him in the backcourt and in combination with all of our other guys, we're just excited to prove people wrong." Trade analysis: Warriors risks future for Jimmy Butler? Stephen Curry can't do it all. Regardless of what Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the rest of the Golden State Warriors' brain trust and vision, significant playoff success won't occur with the current roster. However, the front office moves this past summer indicated they have no interest in trading their young pieces for an all-star. Yet, a recent trade suggests the front office reneged on its original stance on the roster and risked it all for one more championship run. Pat Riley's rings and the Heat culture could only do so much last season, as they were eliminated in the first round by the Boston Celtics. With little to no roster improvement, the Miami Heat have few options since numerous stars either signed contract extensions or couldn't force their way to the adjacent South Beach franchise. Perhaps the Heat will take the next step in reassessing their expectations by trading away Jimmy Butler, the team's heart and soul. Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report went through mock trades, all of which featured Butler. He attempted a trade for the Warriors, completely contradicting what the front office has communicated all offseason long. However, when you want to win an NBA championship, you do it at all costs, even if it means risking the future. Firstly, Butler is one of the greatest stories in NBA history. From the Philadelphia 76ers picking Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris over him to leading the Heat to 2 NBA Finals, Butler is a winner despite the odds. However, he's 35 and hasn't played at least 65 games since the 2018-19 season. Furthermore, he's due $48.7 million for the 2024-25 season and has a player option for $52.4 million. Although his injuries and age suggest he's nearing the end of his career, that positions Butler with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Butler is championship-starved, and this feeling coincides with the Warriors. Despite the Warriors' 4 championships, they don't settle for missing the playoffs, and Butler extends their ceiling. Could the Warriors utilize Butler in the playoffs and allow for load management during the season to preserve the aging star? It all boils down to whether the Warriors' front office and ownership are willing to break their word for the sake of Curry and the fans. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.